Back here at home, it's a somber night in Lubbock as the city marks the 6th anniversary of a heartbreaking day that saw the deaths of two first responders. On January 11th back in 2020, Officer Nicholas Reyna and Fire Lieutenant Eric Hill were on scene of a crash along the North Interstate. It was a cold and icy morning when they were struck by another passing vehicle and they were killed. Firefighter Matt Dawson was also severely injured. He was able to make a recovery but died in late 2023. Now, the crash prompted numerous improvements to safety when it comes to crash response, not only in Lubbock but nationally. Everything from crash notification in vehicle technology, helmets, and roadway blocking.